Anything else, Ryan?
No, I said it. Now, I'm not sure if you've noticed, but I haven't picked the camera up once today. I also haven't done a quest in a couple of days because I've got a strategy. New quests come May 1st with the brand new Zapdos boxes, and I want to make sure that I get that and I get the Zapdos box. So, today being April 28th, I'm going to get badge number 6 at some point today, and then I will not be questing until May 1st. So I don't even know how I'm gonna make that. I'm just gonna keep deleting quests. How will I not quest? I also haven't got my streaks today, so 1, quick shout out to Starbucks for waking me up. 2, quick shout out to a coughing for being rare in Generation 1 and just sitting here. And 3, shout out to whatever we're doing today because I have no idea. But what I do know is we just got our 3-day streak, so that's checked. We got a quest to complete today, so we get number 6, and then I can get the research breakthrough box on the last day of April to make sure we get that brand new one starting May 1st. And somehow my name is Ray. Ray, nice to meet you. Wanna see some deja vu? Oh my god, this cluster. Shiny check. 4-day streak check. 4-day streak spin check. Yes, I did go to Starbucks 2 days in a row. Yes, I'm addicted, and yes, I am off a lot of caffeine right now. Let's talk about PvP and Gen 4 because we got some news. About 2 days ago, there was a tweet from Dr. Pokémon GO. Check out his Twitter. This guy actually had the opportunity or the random luck to sit next to the one, the only King Hanky on a flight to I have no idea where, but all I know is this is the video.
Hi! Hey, everybody.
That's so awesome, man. Can I just say, like, how awesome of a guy Mr. Hanky is? Legitimately, I've met him a couple times, and I'm not saying this because I'm not sponsored by NIANTIC still, okay? I better not be getting these comments. He's genuinely a good, like, just a nice guy. So these 2 nice guys sat down on this flight, and they talked, and we have some confirmation on some stuff happening here in Pokemon GO, which I'm freaking juiced for. And you should be too. Oh, by the way, just more information on Dr. P. I kinda wanna give him a little bit of a better shout out. Dr. Pogo is, like, a part of the verified level 40 squad. He hit level 40, like, several times over. This guy's legit. So again, Dr. Pogo, check him out. And there were a couple of key things that King Hanky shared on this flight. A couple of the bigger ones being PvP, obviously. That's like the focus of today's video. PvP is being worked on. It's going to be released, and I'm assuming we might, I don't want to speak too soon, but hopefully we'll see it this year. We have no details on what this PvP system is or how it's going to work. I want to talk a little bit about PvP because yesterday we actually did a live stream called How to Make Pokemon Go Great Again. The streams on the channel, if you guys want to check it out, was just 2 hours of just a fun time talking about ways to make this game better, to bring new features in, what new features, and we talked a lot about PvP. So today while we're just sitting here and I'm hopped up on caffeine, I do want to talk about some stuff regarding PvP because I have a bunch of notes that I kind of just wrote down regarding PvP. So we'll go over that in a second. Some other things that were confirmed with King Hanky was Generation 4. Should be coming very soon in Pokemon Go here. Obviously that's, I mean, we're gonna see Gen 4 within the next, literally have to see Gen 4 within the next couple of months because it's been a while since Gen 3's official launch. And after the official launch, we saw Gen 3 come out in waves, which was great, and honestly, I love the wave system. We're probably gonna be seeing each generation now released with that wave system, which I am totally down for, totally okay with. It worked way better than I thought it would. But the waves are up. We still have some Pokemon yet to be released in Pokemon Go. I'm gonna do a video talking about those Pokemon next week or this week. But it's about time for a new generation. So Gen 4 has been confirmed by King Hanky. We do know this is going to come out. We know Gen 4 comes after Gen 3, so that's not too big of a surprise, but it's nice to hear him say it. There's something being done with the maps to make them more raid friendly. We have no like specification on exactly what, but that's being worked on, which is nice because that's a concern. Here's a big piece. The level cap will be increased. We don't know when this is happening or what it's going to be increased to. All I know is that I just hit level 40, and thankfully I have a little bit of time to enjoy being maxed out, level 40 Pokemon Go, and then the level cap will increase, and we're going to have to see how they do that, whether your total XP count does not count towards these new levels, or if you've hit level 40 times over, you're going to get whatever level your XP count gets you to. We don't know how it's going to work, we don't know what the cap's going to be, but we know it will be increased. Some other big pieces of news we have here is Pokestop submissions are coming. Not Ingress portal submissions, but it seems like specifically Pokestop submissions. Hopefully a new system, and we've talked about this so much recently, the Pokestop submissions and portal submissions and POIs and basically just helping rural Pokemon Go, and it looks like they're going this route. And by this route, I mean improving roleplay and not like preventing spoofing, because King Hanky also talked about taking action against spoofers. It's happening more. As we've seen, there's been soft bans, there's been shadow bans, there's been perma bans. They're taking this whole spoofing thing a lot more seriously. So again, again, if you guys are still spoofing, you might want to switch back over to legit play. And it's looking like with Pokestop Submission, if you live in an area that's really crap for Pokemon Go, Niantic's trying to help you. And I think very soon here we'll see some improvements to that system. Also, Pokemon GO Fest 2.0 has been confirmed. We will have a Pokemon GO Fest this year. We don't have a location, we don't have a time, although Professor Willow's birthday is what, the 21st of July? Or June? When the hell is that? Whenever his birthday is, that is the same weekend that we had GO Fest last year. So we might have GO Fest on Mr. Professor Willow's birthday, which would be kind of cool. And that's the news that we got from the Dr. Pogo x King Hanky interview collaboration talk on an airplane. And all that news is huge. That's like everything that we've been speculating about and wanting for, I can't tell you how long. A new generation, a PvP system, Pokestop submissions to help roleplay, the slow but gradual end to spoofing, which is a good and a bad thing depending on who you are, and a freaking level cap increase. This is everything that we've been like talking about lately. Now, speaking of PvP, I feel like we should talk a little bit about PvP, especially because I spent a lot of time this morning writing out a whole list of things that I want to talk about regarding PvP. Now, before I start, guys, make sure in the comments, after watching this, before watching this, while watching this, give me your thoughts and opinions on anything regarding how you think PvP should work in Pokemon Go, because I am not the expert here. When it comes to Pokemon, I have only played Pokemon Go. This is my first ever Pokemon game, so I don't fully understand the battle system when it comes to Pokemon because I've never experienced it or played it, so you guys know it a lot better than I do. So with that knowledge, apply that to Pokemon Go, drop some comments on how you think the whole Pokemon and Pokemon Go world could combine and make a PvP system that makes sense and works for both Pokemon and Pokemon Go. All right, let's get into it. So before I get into this, just know that we have no clue how PvP is actually going to work in Pokemon Go. All of this is just ideas and speculation. And I'll be like directly referencing these notes because they're literally right here. Let's start off by talking about why we need PvP in Pokemon Go. One of the most obvious reasons is that PvP is like one of the main branches on the tree of Pokemon. In the Pokemon world, battling is one of the biggest things you do, one of the biggest features, one of the biggest characteristics of Pokemon. And although we do have battle systems in Pokemon Go, example raids and gym battles, we don't have a way to battle each other. There's no PvP, obviously. So adding things like PvP and trading and stuff that you do in normal Pokemon Go games to Pokemon Go would really complete Pokemon Go. We need PvP. Another reason that I've talked to actually some friends that used to play Pokemon Go who are big Pokemon fans but are kind of bored with Pokemon Go is the fact that Pokemon Go is a collection game, and that is literally all it is. You log on to collect Pokemon, to collect better Pokemon, to battle Pokemon. You play the game to play the game, but in the grand scheme of things, it's really only a collection game because there's nothing you do outside of collect Pokemon other than like raids and gym battles, but it's all about collection. Nothing wrong with that. It's still a great fun game. I'm still down for it. But adding a PvP system creates a whole new aspect, a whole new motivator for people to log on. And through conversations I've had with a ton of people who have quit Pokemon Go, they'd come back if a new PvP system was added that was good, obviously, because again, it's a whole new aspect to the game. Now let's talk about how PvP would work in Pokemon Go. This is a bit of a complicated section. Now think about this: fair matchups versus random battles. There has to be some sort of system in play that matches players together that makes sense, because you can't have a level 15 battle level 40 and expect to have a decent outcome there. The 40 is going to crush that person. So here's my idea. For fair matchups, there would be a league system, somewhat like we see in Clash of Clans that I've experienced for years and years and years, or really any PvP game. What league you're in is determined by what level you are, because I feel like that would really only make sense. Basing it off of anything else would be just far too complicated. Now this whole league thing could add in a whole new league aspect to the game, which would give that competitive feel and competitive structure that I have preached so much about. And now here's, actually, this is just like a big picture idea, but it's a damn good one. A new PvP and league system is dropped. You are placed in a league depending on what level you are, and maybe it's like it's by 5 levels or by 10 levels or whatever it is. Every 5 levels there's a new league with a new badge, and that's where you start. And let's say every league has a badge count. You get badges by winning battles, and you're placed at, if you're level 35, let's say you've got 3,500 badges. Every time you win a battle, you get a little bit more badges, and you can build yourself up to level 40, a league level 40 without being level 40, or if you are not too good, you can drop down to league level 30 as level 35, like that kind of system. So the more battles you win, the more badges you gain, and the higher up in leagues you go, and maybe each league has bonuses, like in Clash of Clans. If you win a battle in Clash of Clans in Legends League, you get like a lot of resources, but if you win in Bronze League, you get virtually nothing. This will incentivize players to go out and use the PvP system. This will create a very, very competitive way to build up and get free things in game, because I mean, that's great, right? And this could be fun because if you're level 15 and you kick ass, you can battle your way up to like the level 30 level, right? You can be a total underdog, you could smash people, and get a bunch of really, really good high-level rewards for a lower level account. Soak that in and imagine how fun that would be in this game. And maybe even your league and the badge that you have can contribute to your team, whether it's Mystic, Instinct, or Valor, and each team could show how many badges they have, and there'd be like global leaderboards, which would incentivize more battling because you want to show your teams at the biggest, baddest battlers. That would be fun. And of course, if you don't want to have like a very competitive league game, you could have a private battle like we have private groups. And these private battles wouldn't require being in the same league or level. It's more for like 1v1s or 2v2, 3v3s, whatever, however the system would work. If you want to like battle your friends or my brother. But that could be cool too. We need like a system where you can battle globally and then a system where you can battle privately against friends. Now here's a topic that has been talked about by everyone over the course of this game starting. We need a new battle system in play in order to make PvP work in Pokemon Go. The tap and swipe method would not work for PvP for a number of reasons. I mean, for starters, the number one reason, we all know that one guy who would forget to tap and just swipe the entire time and dodge like a freaking noob. That's the guy that goes in a raid with a Blissey and just dodges the entire time. We don't want that. Also, just the fact that we can literally calculate who's gonna win a battle right now in Pokemon Go just because the meta and the battle system is just so predictable and calculatable. Like before a battle begins, we know which Pokemon is gonna win, just statistically, which means there's no room to be unique or random or have fun. I wanna do battles based off of Pokemon and Pokemon movesets and abilities rather than on calculations. Also, the current meta would need a change in Pokemon Go. There always has to be like, the best Pokemon or the best troops or the best strategies to use in a game, but they can't be the only Pokemon or strategies and stuff to use in a game, right? Like if I do PvP against people, I wanna use more than just a Dragonite or a Tyranitar, and I wanna see more than just a Dragonite or a Tyranitar. Someone has to be able to use their favorite Pokemon and battle them up against a very, very OP Pokemon and still possibly win. This has to be based off of player skill, not off of Pokemon stats. It has to be, dependent on Pokemon stats, but player skill should play as big of a role as stats do. And obviously this would be a massive change across the entire board when it comes to how Pokemon interact and battle with each other, and that's gonna apply to gym battling and raids, so this would be a massive change. And again, I'm not exactly sure how this would work or how they'd make it work, and mainly because I just don't understand the Pokemon battle world, because Pokemon Go is my first ever Pokemon game. I don't know how to bend it. I don't know how to mold that world to make it work in the Pokemon Go world. Again, that's why you guys are the professionals. Let me know in the comments. So going back to what I said earlier about the whole league system, if a player's really good at a lower level, they should be able to battle their way up against higher levels and beat them if they are legitimately better than these higher levels. It shouldn't solely depend on how high CP your Pokemon is or what moveset your Pokemon has. Player skill needs to play a role in PvP. Now the question of where should PvP be held? Should it be, face-to-face? Should it be based off of GPS location? Should it be at gyms only? Now let's say it's based off of being within a certain radius of a player, which means you can PvP anywhere you want. You don't have to be at a gym, you don't have to be at like a battle zone, it's anywhere you want. If it's based off of GPS, two players who are GPS located next to each other could battle, or three players, however many you could battle against each other. This is a bit of a problem because of spoofing, we're gonna talk about that too. Or maybe it's based off of like a Bluetooth connection between two phones. Either way, the idea is being able to battle anywhere in the world against each other. Or maybe you'd have to be at a gym because a gym is a place where you go to battle, right? So it would make sense that you would have to, in order to PvP at a gym. And this would make it easier for the whole league system and leaderboard system, and maybe like a leaderboard system per gym, and like, there could be some really cool stuff implemented if they do PvP at gyms. Another suggestion that I've seen raised is maybe a pass, a PvP pass, very similar to how you have a raid pass. I would hate to see this added into the game because this means that, like raids, PvP would be a pay-to-play feature, which would be BS because I don't think PvP should be PvP is like the saving grace of Pokemon Go. Do not make people pay to play it. But if this is the case, this could limit PvP, which could kind of help the whole system so people don't overplay it. Maybe you get like one PvP pass per day, or like one pass per day per gym per day. And then maybe there's like EX PvP invites that give you an invitation to like a tournament held at a gym, which could be super dope. I would love to see tournaments, and I would love to see special invitations being sent out to tournaments. Maybe like, tournament gym leaders or like people who have PvP'd there who have a lot of badges. That could be sick. That's like big picture though. And then how about team battles versus solo battles? We saw in the Pokemon Go trailer basically team battles. It was like two groups of people PvPing against each other. That feature would enhance the whole community feel because, as we all know, Pokemon Go and Niantic very, very about community. So that would kind of help that because you could, you know, team up with people in your community, your friends and battle. And then with that, you could do 2v2s, 3v3s. I'm expecting to see if there is a PvP system, or when the PvP system is implemented, you should be able to battle with multiple people against multiple other people. It just kind of makes sense. And it was in the trailer. This might be based off of your actual in-game team, which would kind of suck because if you've got I've got a lot of friends on different teams, right? Like Gilly is on Instinct. I'd love to battle with Gilly though. I mean, I have no problem kicking his butt, but I like to team up with him and battle people. That's one more thing. NIANTIC with PvP, please don't make it dependent off of player team. And if you do, allow people to change their team at least once. And then solo battles, obviously we would need solo battles with PvP because who doesn't want to 1v1 some people, right? So that's my ideology of how I think PvP might work in Pokemon Go, or just some systems that I think should be in play when PvP is implemented in Pokemon Go. It would just make the system flow, work, be more fun to play. The last thing that I'd want to see with this PvP system is NIANTIC making it so simplified that it's just not really that fun to play. There should be depth, there should be leaderboards, there should be some sort of a competitive aspect. They need to make this PvP system amazing, and honestly, just look at other games and how they've done it. I always reference Clash of Clans and Supercell because they did their game perfectly, which is why their game top charts for 5 years, 6 years, and it's still Clash of Clans and Clash Royale still in the top charts. PvP in Pokemon Go, I hope, should work a lot like PvP in Clash of Clans or other PvP games. There's a reason why all these games use the same ideas and formulas to build PvP systems, because they work. Now let's wrap it up and talk about a pretty big topic, the problems with PvP. The number one problem, and the one that I've talked about forever, is spoofers. I know you guys, there's a lot of spoofers out there. You guys are a problem when it comes to PvP. Whether you like it or not, you are a problem. And this is because very obviously spoofers would have a humongous advantage over legit players when it comes to PvP, because spoofers can very easily get better Pokemon and get their levels higher. Spoofing's cheating. It's cheating. And especially when there's a PvP, like a competitive system, it's like really cheating now. But again, Hanky did talk about how they were cracking down on spoofing more and more, and we've seen proof of that. So maybe by the time PvP comes out, spoofing won't be as big of an issue. But I feel like before PvP does drop, they do have to somewhat resolve this whole spoofing issue. And there's a couple ways to do that. They could, you know, completely eliminate spoofers. They could make it so that spoofers can't participate in PvP, or they could try to even out things by giving legit players ways of getting better Pokemon, or better IVs, or more rare stuff. There's like ways they could balance the whole spoofer legit player system out when it comes to PvP, but that's just something that they will have to do before the system drops. Another problem is that the current battle system kind of sucks. As we all know, it's just boring, it's mundane. And I mean, we talked about this, but like they need to change the battle system. How would they change it? What would they change it to? No clue. And then one of the biggest concerns that I know NIANTIC has had and pondered over, and this has been a large topic of discussion, I don't know for a fact, but I know just because I could just only assume how many conversations they've had about this one thing. PvP would probably maybe cause real-life PvP. People might throw hands at battles. That's the one thing about this game, is that it's an in-person game. So if you rage in person, situations can arise. Let me tell you, in Clash Royale, 80% of my games ended in losses, and 100% of those times I would have probably fought real life the person on the other team. I would have thrown hands with them, especially those mortar deck users. I would have punched them into the ground. No, maybe it's not that bad, but like that is a concern though, is the fact that like there would be maybe some violence, some toxicity added to the community if there was a competitive PvP system, because this is Pokemon Go is an awesome community. It's very, very passive, and then adding PvP and like a competitive aspect to any community will add toxicity. It will add a bit of a you know, aggressive community. Not really aggressive, but like competitive. In my opinion, that's a risk that is definitely worth the jump, but that is a concern. But I mean, we're all adults here, right? Don't punch people because they beat you. All right, well, that's my thoughts on PvP in Pokemon Go. Let me know in the comments if you guys have, again, any more ideas, any more ways to figure out how PvP would work in Pokemon Go, because, again, Pokemon noob here. But all this is definitely really, really exciting, and the fact that Hanky confirmed some of the biggest topics we've been discussing lately is incredibly exciting. So Pokemon Go 2018, it's only getting better every year, and I can't wait to see the big features, Gen 4, PvP, level cap increase, Pokestop submissions, all these crazy additions and improvements. Can't wait to see them drop in the game. Hope you guys are excited too. If you guys are, make sure to leave a like, leave your comments in the comment section below, and I'm gonna peace out now. Hop in a Fortnite live stream on Twitch. I'll leave my Twitch link in the description if you guys wanna come hang out, ask questions for a little while. There's meteors falling everywhere, so I'm hoping that we get late game and I get hit by a meteor. We'll see. Definitely pop by the stream. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you all later. Peace out.